trai-guṇya-viṣayā vedā nistrai-guṇyo bhavārjuna nirdvandvo nitya-sattva-stho niryoga-kṣema ātmavān.
The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes, be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self.
Commentary by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada of Gaudiya Sampradaya. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results, which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy where, in the beginning, there is Brahma Jignasa, or questions on the supreme transcendence. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karmakanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of the Upanishads, which are part of different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. Commentary by Sri Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur of Gaudiya Sampradaya. Give up all sadhanas of dharma, artha, kama and moksha, and just take shelter of bhakti yoga. The Vedas have the ability to reveal only karma and jnana and other topics of the three modes for personal gratification. The suffix ya in trai-guṇya-viṣayā here denotes self-interest. This statement of course means that the majority of texts deal with material subjects. As well, the Pancharatra and Smriti scriptures and other Shrutis like the Gita Upanishad and Gopala Tapni Upanishad make Nirguna Bhakti the subject of discussion. Do not involve yourself with those statements of the Vedas dealing with jnana and karma affected by the three gunas. But you should always follow the Vedic statements dealing with bhakti. Then, such a person will be free of the dualities within the gunas, such as respect and disrespect, and will remain with the eternal living entities, my devotees. Commentary by Sri Ramanujacharya of Sri Sampradaya. The word trai-guṇya means the three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Here the term trai-guṇya denotes persons in whom sattva, rajas and tamas are in abundance. The Vedas, in prescribing desire-oriented rituals, kamya karmas, have such persons in view. Because of their great love, the Vedas teach what is good to those in whom tamas, rajas and sattva preponderate. If the Vedas had not explained to these persons the means for the attainment of heaven, etc., according to the gunas, then those persons who are not interested in liberation owing to absence of sattva and preponderance of rajas and tamas in them, would get completely lost amidst what should not be resorted to, without knowing the means for attaining the results they desire. The purport is, do not nurse the preponderance of the three gunas in their state of intermixture. Do not cultivate such preponderance. Be free from the pairs of opposites. Be free from all the characteristics of worldly life. Abide in pure sattva. Be established in sattva, in its state of purity without the admixture of the other two gunas. While abandoning the acquisition of what is not required for self-realization, abandon also the conservation of such things already acquired. You can thus be established in self-control and thereby become an aspirant after the essential nature of the self. If you conduct yourself in this way, the preponderance of rajas and tamas will be annihilated, and pure sattva will develop. Besides, all that is taught in the Vedas is not fit to be utilized by all. Commentary by Sri Sridhara Swami of Rudra Sampradaya. It may be submitted that if heaven and enjoyment of heavenly realms is not the highest goal, why do the Vedic scriptures prescribe duties and rites as a means of attaining them? The answer to this is being given in this verse, that the Vedas mainly deal with those aspirants who, influenced by fruitive desires, are controlled by the three modes of material nature. This means that aspirants are given the incentive of reward by adhering to specific activities for a specific period of time to get a specific result. But Arjuna is being instructed by the Supreme Lord Krishna to be above the three modes of material existence and free from desires, remain beyond the dualities of happiness and misery, pleasure and pain, and the rest by enduring them. How is this to be accomplished? By remaining always established in the pure light of spiritual consciousness that is being steadfast. Commentary by Sri Mandvacharya of Brahma Sampradaya. Up until this verse, the intelligence of yoga, which is the individual consciousness attaining communion with the ultimate consciousness, and other matters regarding the three modes of material existence being goodness, passion, and ignorance, has been discussed. The Vedic scriptures give the outward appearance of having as their purpose in relating how those living entities in goodness, passion, and ignorance can achieve the joys of the heavenly spheres. But the Vedic scriptures also contain confidential meanings as well, and thus it has been instructed by Lord Krishna not to accept only the external form of the Vedic scriptures, but to understand the Vedic scriptures by the light of the confidential meanings. It is also declared that unauthorized interpretations by those outside disciplic succession within the Vedic culture, and of course to all the unqualified interpretations by those who are not even attempting to follow the Vedic culture, must bring about doubts and confusion, even if they do not deny the truth, because although they may possess adequate academic intelligence, they are not properly situated in spiritual intelligence. In all the Vedic scriptures, which include the Ramayana, the Puranas, Upanishads, and Mahabharata, the Supreme Lord Krishna and his direct expansions and incarnations are continuously eulogized in the beginning, middle, and end. All the Vedic scriptures speak of his form. The Vedic scriptures are known for speaking about the three modes of material existence being the qualities of goodness, passion, and ignorance, because they give instructions about ameliorating the effect of these three modes of material existence. Taking full protection of the Vedic scriptures, those of spiritual intelligence free themselves from the three modes of material existence and become fully devoted to the Supreme Lord Krishna. Taking refuge in the Vedic scriptures, a living entity can be emancipated from the material existence and gains the heavenly planets, but taking refuge solely in the Supreme Lord Krishna, one attains the spiritual world and is thus far superior. Commentary by Sri Keshava Kashmiri of Kumara Sampradaya. If the rewards like heaven are of such an impermanent nature, then why do the Vedas, which are eternally perfect and beneficial for all beings, enjoin practices aimed at achieving heavenly spheres? To answer this, Lord Krishna states that the Vedic scriptures deals with the three modes of material nature, which are goodness, passion, and ignorance, and all beings are born into these three modes of material nature. Some beings have a preponderance for goodness, others for passion, and others for ignorance, while some are mixed. These modes are conditioned within the mind and they typify the three types of created beings. With exception of the Upanishads, the Vedic scriptures dealing with the three modes gives prescribed activities and their results. Lord Krishna explains to be free from dualities like praise and blame, heat and cold, pleasure and pain. Being free from them means being unattached to them. How is this to be done? By enduring them and becoming established in pure spiritual consciousness. But in all this, one with worldly possessions, desirous of increasing and protecting them, may wonder how they may maintain themselves in the material nature. The essence is to understand that the Supreme Lord is the fulfiller and bestower of all desires. So one should only seek his refuge and accept his shelter. Never fear nor seek any other succor from any other source, for the Supreme Lord will provide all sustenance and maintenance to those who, understanding him, are fully surrendered. Commentary by Sri Adi Shankaracharya of Advait Sampradaya. To those who are thus devoid of discriminating wisdom, who indulge in pleasure, O Arjuna, the Vedas have the three qualities as their object, have the three gunas. The collection of virtuous, vicious and mixed activities as also their results. In this derivative sense, trai-guṇya means the worldly life. The worldly life as the object to be revealed. But you become free from the three qualities, i.e., be free from desires. There is a seeming conflict between the advices to be free from the three qualities and to be ever poised in the quality of sattva. Hence, the commentator takes the phrase nistrai-guṇya to mean niskama, free from desires. Be free from the pairs of duality. By the word vandva, duality, are meant the conflicting pairs of heat and cold, etc., which are the causes of happiness and sorrow. You become free from them. You become ever poised in the quality of sattva, and so also without desire for acquisition and protection. Yoga means the acquisition of what one has not, and kṣema means the protection of what one has. For one who has acquisition and protection foremost in his mind, it is difficult to seek liberation. Hence, you be free from acquisition and protection. And also be self-collected, vigilant. This is the advice given to you while you are engaged in your own duty, and not from the point of view of seeking liberation.